Most of the memories have been unbelievable, fantastic people.
On a beaucoup mangé de sushi, hein? On a beaucoup mangé de plein de trucs bizarres, mais c'était vraiment top.
I mean, you've got some of the most nice, humble people, the most deep, rich culture.
Japón ha sido una experiencia increíble.
É lugar muito especial.
On a été de surprise en surprise tout au long de la semaine.
As you can tell, my voice is a little scratchy. We've had some fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Japan and the first ever Motor and Surf Scramble. This event was a mix between a moto surf competition, an off-road exhibition, and a dirt bike free ride. The off-road division was strictly exhibition with a lot of dune jumping, dirt slinging, and drifting around on the beach. But today, we're going to focus our attention on the Moto Surf Contest. This event was also host to the final round of the 2016 IFWA World Tour. Many of the sport's finest athletes traveled from 6 continents to compete for the big purse prizes being offered in both a sit-down and a stand-up class.
Wow, crazy. The event in Japan is a kind of a dream. We have so many great pilots here, and it's the home of watercraft factories here. It was very important for us to come. And they have hosted us with the gracious hospitality that Japanese are well known for.
Never in my imagination could I have dreamed what Japan has offered.
Amazing job of catering to us, making sure we were comfortable with our accommodations, feeding us with great food at the event site, the TV coverage, the production value of...
Des gars qui sont en train de poser les nouveaux standards de ce que devrait être notre sport.
Une organisation comme ça, il en faut partout.
El evento fue increíble, la competición es excelente. Taka Kimura ha sido un excelente anfitrión.
やっぱ憧れの選手たちと試合ができたことはすごい感動だったんですけども、日本だったので僕のホームタウンなんでやっぱりいい成績を残さなきゃいけないのと負けるわけにはいかないっていうプレッシャーの中で戦いました。
Bon feeling, hein, il y a ce qu'il faut, bon surf, petit backflip et tout, tranquille.
Il 外国人選手がいるんで、いつも一緒に乗らないんで緊張してます。有名選手もいっぱいいるんで。
世界のライダーいっぱい来てくれて、ものすごく楽しみにしています。
You know, the beach is great, the surf. How can I have surf every day for 3 days?
Day 1 and day 2 was good. Day 3 a little bit windy, but doesn't matter, that's life.
But what it did generate was some really gnarly swell. It was challenging and it meant for a good final.
After years of decline in interest, the sit-down class was brought back to life in Japan. Recent design innovations have been attracting a new audience. In 2015, Crash Industries introduced the Reaper, a blaster-based design for a dirt bike on the wave style of riding. And this year, we witnessed the world premiere of another game changer, the Richter MX-1. It was designed by 7-time world champion Pierre Maxon, who came to Japan to compete in sit-down class and show off the new machine.
On est complètement satisfait. La machine a subi le test avec un grand succès. Elle ride parfaitement, elle est extrêmement solide. Je me suis régalé tout le week-end, donc je pense que ça va faire beaucoup d'adeptes dans notre sport.
Now we have so many aftermarket hulls that are within this class. This is going to make a big evolution. So it's very exciting to see the new developments in the technology and the design of the hulls and the production of them.
The sit-down class put on a great show. Pierre won the event, riding to first place on his MX-1. And the first place IFWA sit-down class world champion title was awarded to fellow MX-100 team rider, Jeremy Bosser.
J'ai essayé d'évoluer suivant l'année dernière, de combler mes défauts en posant des questions aux meilleurs de la discipline que j'ai enregistré. Je me suis entraîné, j'ai fait beaucoup de sport pour éviter de subir pendant mes runs. C'est vraiment pas mal, ça a apporté ses fruits, je suis content.
Zach Bright rode into third place on a Crash Reaper. Zach had a busy weekend riding hard in both the sit-down and stand-up categories.
I mean, come on. I got third place against Pierre Maxent, who is the king of blasters. And second place is Jeremy Bosser. I mean, come on. Like, these are two absolute legends. So as a fan of these pilots, I'm freaking stoked. Like, I'm on the box. I'm next to these guys. What more can I say?
The moto surf sport is evolving and producing some really talented young riders. A perfect example is the Rookie of the Year, a young French boy living on the Ivory Coast named Hugo Guar. Hugo's only 16 years old, and Japan was his first international competition outside of Europe.
S'adapter sur une machine qui n'est pas la sienne pour une compétition, c'est vraiment compliqué. J'ai pas réussi à poser mon ride correctement. Les quarts de finale, c'est déjà très bien pour moi. Et j'espère peut-être faire un peu plus, mais bon, c'est vraiment cool. Et puis c'est vraiment sympa pour une première année d'arriver jusque-là.
The sickest trick competition was won on a Crash Reaper, ridden by Mr. Blaster J from Australia.
I went over the wave and I saw the second wave, and the first wave was high, but the second wave was better shape. So I just threw it, just hit the wave full blast as much as I could, and threw my legs off, look up, look back, land and ride away and put my hands in the air, and victory is mine.
The stand-up competition this year was intense. Many of the best riders on the planet came to Japan, all ready to go big and push the limits to introduce the sport to a new audience. But there was no doubt of who was blasting the amplitude levels for the biggest airs. It was Abraham Hochstrasser from Mexico, who won third place on the World Tour.
Estoy en el top 3. Yo quería pelear por el campeonato mundial, preparándome desde ahora.
And in third place at the Japan event, for the first time in his career, Takaki Murao was on the podium of an international contest. The Japanese Devil made his country proud not only as local host of a great event, but also as a phenomenal rider.
できることならば来年ももう一回世界ツアーに回って、ランキング3番以内もしくはチャンピオンになって、日本のフリーライドを盛り上げたいです。
Coming in second place both at the event and on the World Tour, we have Bruno from Brazil, who was lucky enough to find a little pocket of good waves on this windy Sunday.
E principalmente hoje eu percebi que as rochas protegiam um pouco o vento. Então aquela área tinha uma formação melhor e tive sorte de pegar boas ondas. Espero que cada ano eu continue subindo os degraus.
And finally, our first place champion of the Motor and Surf Scramble, who was also the overall winner of the 2016 IFWA World Championship Tour, Mark Gomez. Mark had an incredible season and has proven to the world for the second time in a row that he is the man to beat next year.
There's nothing like getting on your own equipment, and it made the absolute difference in my success this year, and I'm incredibly thankful for everybody's support. Winning the second world title, man, the only other thing I can think of, come back again 3 times in a row. Pierre got 7. Don't know if I can do 7, but why not? Got to take it one step at a time. I've got some of the greatest industry sponsors behind me. Hopefully they'll get behind me in 2017. And I want to see this sport grow and elevate, and I want to be a part of that growth and continue to move forward with it. So I'm coming at you again next year, 2017, for a 3rd world title in the IFWA. Hopefully it ends here again in Japan, because it was amazing, and I'll see you guys there.
Japan was an amazing experience for the moto surf community. Good times and good vibes created new energy and started a new conversation for future possibilities. We aren't ready to make any big announcements for these future visions yet, but would like to let Eric Fournet share a little something that should be of interest to the old school.
Ils veulent tous que je revienne, c'est con. Moi, j'ai plus le même âge qu'eux. Et je pense que l'année prochaine, on va faire un tour vétéran. Et je serai là parce que j'aime ce sport et j'aime me mettre la tête à l'envers dans les vagues.
日本はすげえっす。やばいっす。これからもっと日本のフリーライドはやばくなって、絶対に世界チャンピオンを取る人間が出てきます。日本を舐めないように気をつけて。
We're gonna look back on things in life and we're gonna say, man, it all started in Japan. 2016 is when things really started to get serious and change.
Having Japan just happen, I mean, it's new spark. This sport is just getting started.
So that wraps up the 2016 IFWA World Tour and the first ever Motor and Surf Scramble event. Until next time, keep riding.